Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, now the show you've been all waiting for. Mr. 702 from Las Vegas is going to speak to you. Alrighty then, welcome to our podcast, talking to Mr. 702. And of course, we got a lot of things going on in the world today. And one of the things going on is this love affair and this breakup, incredible, between Johnny Depp, the American actor, and his ex-wife, Amber Heard, which is another actress. And it's incredible the things that are coming out in this courthouse. These poor people from Virginia don't know what they got themselves into. This is amazing what's going on, what we're talking about today. Today, it's harsh. She continues to be on the stand for day 2. She's day 2 today of telling the story the way she saw it and the way she sees fit. The story is incredible, the things she's saying today, but she's also, they're sharing these private, intimate moments that they had together, and they were being courted by her. And wow, we got to listen in so you can understand what's going on, because this is a real wild story. And like I said before, it's kind of sad because these two actors are very known for their roles in the movie industry. And we have a lot of kids and young ones that look up to them. And, they're role models. These are their superheroes. And yet they're acting like fools in real life. Hollywood, what the heck is going on? Let's listen in. We're going to listen into this recording that Amber Heard did. You remember, like we were talking about yesterday, the aircraft, when they were in the airplane and they were on their way to where they were going, and all of a sudden they fought on the airplane, and then they did cocaine together and all this stuff. And we're going to follow up on it because you got to hear what she had to say and what she recorded. This is incredible. Let's listen in.
And then the second one is from 2:50 to 3:20, 30 seconds.
You 221 is in evidence. All of 221 is already in evidence.
So may I play the third one then, and then we can take the break?
Yes.
Thank you. That would be at 9.
You can play all of it if you'd like. That's fine.
I think that'll torture the jury if I do that, Your Honor. 9:30 to 10, just 30 seconds more.
changing gears after that.
Incredible. So what do you guys think about that? I mean, come on, let's get real. You know, we already know that she parties, he parties, they're actors. I mean, how easy is it? Because the recording, you can actually tell, you know, hey, let's get messed up together. And once you're far gone, which I'm going to wait for it, and then I'm going to record you being drunk. Yeah, I've seen that in a lot of movies and episodes of CSI. None of them got an idea there. So things that make you go, right? Let's go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue with this case because now she's going to say and talk about this incident with a bottle. And I'm not talking genie in a bottle. We'll be right back. Don't move. It gets hot in here. Hey everyone, I want to invite you all to listen to my show, Talking with Mr. 702, every day from Monday to Friday. Don't miss it. We got a lot of hot topics of everything that's happening in Las Vegas and around the world. Don't miss it. Listen to me on Spotify, podcasts, GuidoTV.com, and all my other social media outlets. Thank you. Well, we're back one more time here with Mr. 702, and you're listening to Talking with Mr. 702 podcast. And of course, we're bringing you all the action today, and we're trying to be number one with the action as fast as we can bring it out to you and have it there for your listening pleasures. And of course, we're covering this case that's hot. It is so hot. But we're going to pull up a disclaimer right now because the next part of this is a little bit strong. So if the kiddies and young kids under the age of 18 are in the room, please have them leave the room because the next thing that comes out of this courthouse is strong. There's accusations that you can only hear. It's amazing. It's amazing the claims that are going on here, because if this is actually true, then this is more than just a lawsuit. I mean, this is incredible accusations about a bottle and it going where the sun don't shine. So let's listen in. Here goes the harsh words from Amber.
It got really nasty. It went from like, oh, no one likes you. No one likes me. Everyone warned me about you. That's what it was. He started to tell me that everyone had warned him about me and that he wished he had never married me, wish he had never met me. No one liked me. You know, it sounds childish, but I remember feeling really hurt. And then at some point, I shoved him hard to get him off me. And he shoved me back and he said, "Do you want to go, little girl?" I couldn't, as I sit here today, tell you if that happened before he choked me up against the wall. But at some point, I am in a struggle with him where I'm holding his shirt lapel, and he kind of just flings me, for lack of a better way to describe it, throws me across the room. I land on a games table. It's like a ping pong table. And I don't know if I was holding on to him or if he pursued me separate, but he gets on top of me on the games table and is just whacking me in the face, like repetitive. We struggle on the games table. I don't know how we get up. I don't know if he pulls me up. I wish I could tell you, but we were in this struggle down in this games room by the bar. And we had this conversation about the drinking, or argument about the drinking. And he holds up this bottle to me, and you know, I'm saying, did you drink this whole thing? Something stupid, focusing on this detail, and he is telling me that I can't control him anymore, and that if I really, if I really wanted to try, take it. And then he's like taunting me to take the bottle from him. If I really want him to stop, why don't I take it from him? Go on. Kept saying, go on. And kind of gesturing with the bottle towards me. And he does that 2 or 3 times. I reach for it, he'd revoke it, kind of laugh at me. And he's holding out the bottle. I think like maybe the 3rd time or so I get a hold of it. I pick it up and I slam it down on the ground right in between us. It's a tile floor, a white tile floor. And I smashed the bottle on the floor. And that really set him off. So stupid. Sorry. It was like a light bulb switch went off. And he started screaming. I don't know if he backhanded me or hit me normally. I don't really recall, but I remember it sent me down to the ground. I remember by the time I picked myself off the floor, I stand up. He's got a bottle in his hand, and he threw it at me. It missed, thankfully, but I kind of pulled myself back into the bar area. I don't know how much time passed, but at some point he had a broken bottle up against my face, neck area by my jawline, and he told me he'd carve up my face. I don't know at what point in the evening. I couldn't tell you what sequence-wise when that happened, but it was terrifying. It wasn't the first time he said that to me. He said that to me on the plane as well. But this time he was holding a broken bottle to me. I honestly don't remember if I threw anything in his direction. I don't think I did. I just remember him having me by the nightgown. I remember him flailing me, throwing me around. I'm flailing. This is after there were some bottles broken on the floor. I think this is actually after, again, forgive me, I wish I could remember the sequence, but it's flashes. He's throwing these bottles at me. I remember retreating. There were also cans, like soda cans, beer or soda cans, and they're coming at me one after the other, and I keep pulling myself into the bar area. There's a bar behind me in like an L shape. He's standing in the only way you can exit, so I'm kind of trapped in front of this sink, surrounded by bar on 3 sides with him in front of me-ish, kind of front off to the left, and he's throwing these bottles one after the other, and I can feel glass breaking behind me. I remember feeling one of them go by my head really fast. I mean, a real velocity. I remember being terrified. I remember I couldn't move. I couldn't go anywhere. I eventually, he ran out of things to throw. I think that's how I moved myself towards the exit. And I believe that's most likely when we got kind of in this struggle by the bar area. Because I remember my feet slipping on the tile as he was slamming me from the wall to the countertops. At one point, he has me up against the wall and he's punching the wall. He had my, nightgown and then kind of ripped it off my chest. I remember at one point he's teasing me, taunting me that he has my breast in his hand. My nightgown came completely off. It was ripped off of me. So I was naked, and I'm slipping around on this tile and trying to get my footing. And I remember slipping on this tile of glass was underneath me, and I remember just trying to get my footing. You know, I felt really destabilized and felt really vulnerable. I'm naked, and he's flinging me around, and at some point, I'm up against the wall, and he's screaming at me that he fucking hates me, that I ruined his life. I remember I ruined his life over and over. And he starts punching the wall next to my head, holding me by the neck. I get free from him. I kind of step back from him, and it's like his energy shifted to the phone. There was a wall-mounted phone on the wall next to where my head was, and he went from punching the wall to like realizing there was a phone there, and he picked up the phone and he's screaming. He's like at the top of his lungs, screaming, "I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. You ruined my fucking life." And screaming at the top of his lungs, he picks up the phone and starts bashing the phone against the wall where I was just being held. And I remember kind of having some distance on what was happening and watching him do this. And it was like his energy had shifted, and I was that phone all of a sudden. And he was just over and over again smashing this phone into the wall, over and over again, screaming at me. And I was watching the phone every single time he pulled his hand back. It was just breaking into pieces. I remember thinking this phone is disappearing. He's smashing it to smithereens, just going into the wall. And at some point, he's on top of me, no phone, but screaming the same thing. "I fucking hate you. You ruined my fucking life." I'm on the countertop. He had me by the neck, and he felt like he was on top of me, and I'm looking at him in his eyes, and I don't see him anymore. I don't see him anymore. It wasn't him. It was black. I've never been so scared in my life. It was black. I couldn't see him. And he was looking at me, and I was trying to get through to him. I was trying to say to him in some way that it was me. I was trying to get through to Johnny, and I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him at all. And my head was bashing against the back of the bar, and I couldn't breathe. And I remember trying to get up, and I was slipping on the glass. My feet were slipping, my arms were slipping on the countertop. And I remember just trying to get up so I could breathe, so I could tell him that he was really hurting me. I didn't think he knew what he was doing. I don't know how. Sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't breathe. Please. I don't know. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't get through to him. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. And I don't know how that ended. I don't know how. I don't know what happened next. I don't understand. The next thing I remember, I was bent over backwards on the bar, meaning my chest was up. I was staring at the blue lights, and my chest was on this, my back was on the countertops, and I thought he was punching me. I thought he was oh, sorry. felt this pressure. He held my pubic bone and he said he was punching me. I just saw his arm. I could feel his arm moving, and it looked like he was punching me. But I could just feel this pressure. It was like if it kept hitting him. It didn't feel pain. It was just a pressure on my pubic bone, and I don't know. I don't remember what I said. I just remember being really still, not wanting to move. I remember looking around the room. I remember looking at all the broken bottles, broken glass. And I remember just not wanting to move because I didn't know if it was broken. I didn't know if the bottle that he had inside me was broken. I couldn't feel it. I didn't feel pain. I didn't feel anything. I didn't want it. I looked around and I saw so much broken glass that I didn't know if he would know. I didn't know if he would know if it was broken or not, and I just remember thinking, please God, please, I hope it's not broken. I don't know how that ended. I don't know how I got off the countertop. I just remember it being in the bathroom. I remember retching. I remember the sound my voice was making. I remember I lost control of my bladder. I remember just retching. I remember there was some blood on the floor. I got up at some point. I don't know how that night ended. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember. I have a memory of him begging me not to leave. I remember going outside the front door. I remember him coming out to the front area, but I don't remember if that was before or after this. I don't remember. I just have that memory.
So what did you guys think about that? That was harsh, and that was her testimony. That's what she had to say, and I just say, wow. Let's go to a commercial so we can take a little break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk about what I think about this case. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, I want to invite you to listen in to my podcast every day from Monday through Friday. We got hot topics that we're going to be discussing and talking about from here in Las Vegas and around the world. You don't want to miss this podcast because it's going to be burning hot with these topics. Don't miss it from Monday to Friday, talking to Mr. 702. And we're back in our podcast talking to Mr. 702, and this is really a dramatic, wow, these poor people from Virginia and everyone that's watching. I told you it was going to be a little bit of foul language and a lot of graphic, and it was very, wow. That's all I I got to say. But to me, it's kind of, I don't know. I just can't understand. By listening to all the testimony that she just gave, that's pretty hard to even imagine. I mean, for someone to be able to hold you by the neck without tying you up and squeezing a bottle inside, I don't know. I don't see a person being able to do all those things at once without tying you down. So, it's kind of a little bit hard to understand, because at no time did she say that he knocked her out unconscious or gave her some kind of drug that knocked her out and she woke up dead. At all times, she was aware of what was going on. She said it. She said she felt pressure. But at the same time, she said that he had her by the neck. Like I said before, things that make you go, is it possible you're fighting back and they have you by the neck, and then in the other hand, squeeze a bottle through your private? I don't know. You think about it and tell me what you think. But anyways, this is going to continue. How long it continues before Johnny Depp's team comes in and starts doing the questioning, which we'll see where this is going to end up. This is harsh. This is a sad situation. Like I said, I mean, these are two actors, well-known actors. Johnny Depp especially. This guy is in a whole bunch of the movies of the Pirates of the Caribbean, which are movies for Disney. So, like I said before, these guys are role models. These guys are, heroes, superheroes to our children, and yet in their own private life they act like fools. I mean, and for this to be going on for such a long time, and the abuse and disgusting way of living, and these guys were still together and still, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's just like everything else. There was a whole bunch of pictures. They showed pictures of things that you couldn't even see anything wrong with them, and yet when this lady supposedly got raped by Johnny with a bottle, her accusation is, or what she's saying happened, that there's no pictures. Why is there no pictures of the bruising? Neck? She said she had cuts. So, and you know me, I'm neutral. I'm not going for one or the other. I'm calling for the Johnny Depp. Testimony, it says she was the victim. She never did anything weird. She was always drunk, drugged out. We got to continue to see what happens and all this develops. But this is truly a story that's catching around. Everybody's interested. Like I said, we'll continue to keep on bringing podcasts on this. Very, very story. Going everywhere. Everybody's talking about this. So, we'll continue to bring you more. Remember, if you haven't, start pressing that button. Follow me on our podcast, on our other outlets. And remember, love is love. You shouldn't be a victim when you're in love. You feel threatened. If you're going through something, please talk about it. Don't keep it within. Because sometimes the life you save might be your own. There are circumstances that we can avoid if we just speak up. Don't be afraid, but be true to thyself. See you tomorrow, guys.